Have you ever felt utterly drained despite sleeping enough? Like no matter what you do, the weight of exhaustion clings to you. This sensation is overwhelmingly common in our modern world. We are surrounded by constant demands, work, social media, endless to-do lists. Our minds race, our bodies tire, and rest seems like a distant, unattainable goal. The exhaustion is not just physical, but deeply psychological. A burnt-out spirit caught in an unrelenting cycle. This feeling of relentless fatigue shapes much of today's human experience and spreads like a quiet epidemic that few openly acknowledge. To understand this exhaustion, we have to look closely at the conditions that create it. Our society glorifies constant productivity and achievement above all else. Every moment not spent working or improving feels wasted. Technology blurs the boundaries between work and rest, creating a 24/7 pressure to stay connected, responsive, and productive. This culture breeds a form of exhaustion that is deeper than tiredness. It is a systemic state of being drained, overwhelmed, and emotionally depleted. When rest feels impossible, it shows something fundamental about the structures in which we live, not just personal failure. The problem isn't just individual burnout, it is an exhaustion embedded within the fabric of modern life itself. The philosopher Byung-Chul Han offers profound insight into this condition in his concept of the exhaustion society. He argues that unlike older societies characterized by discipline and repression, our current society demands self-optimization and achievement. This shift turns individuals into entrepreneurs of themselves, always pushing to do more, be better, and never stop. The endless imperative to perform leads to a burnout so pervasive that exhaustion becomes the dominant mode of existence. Han's analysis exposes the paradox of freedom in modern life. We are free to act, but that freedom becomes a prison where rest is sacrificed for relentless activity. It reframes exhaustion from a personal defect to a social condition shaped by cultural forces. At the heart of Han's theory is the concept of neoliberal psychopolitics, where the self is constantly observed and regulated by itself. This internalization of pressure makes exhaustion a self-inflicted affliction. The drive to optimize oneself leads to exhaustion, not through external coercion, but through an internal command to perform without limits. It is exhaustion without the obvious oppressor, a subtle mechanism that makes individuals their own taskmasters. Understanding this notion reveals why rest feels impossible. It's not just about stopping, it's about breaking a deep psychological compulsion to continually produce. This internal dynamic traps us in ongoing fatigue, making rest not just rare, but often psychologically uncomfortable or even guilt-inducing. Delving deeper, Han distinguishes between two forms of power: disciplinary power and disciplinary power successor, achievement power. The latter operates through the seduction of freedom and choice, turning individuals into entrepreneurs who must continuously improve themselves. Exhaustion arises because this is a power that requires constant self-surveillance and self-exploitation. Rest is then not a break, but a form of resistance against a system that measures value exclusively by output and performance. This means exhaustion is not only physical, but deeply existential. It questions the meaning of our efforts and the very conditions of what it means to live a fulfilling life in contemporary society. The fatigue we experience signals a deeper alienation from ourselves and the world, a disruption of inwardness in genuine restfulness. As we face this deep exhaustion, it is crucial to recognize that the totalizing demand for productivity and self-optimization is a social construct, not an immutable truth. Han's philosophy guides us to see that breaking free requires creating spaces where rest can be authentic and not coerced or guilt-ridden. It invites us to question the values that equate human worth solely with achievement, and to reimagine a life that includes quietness and being over constant doing. This is a radical step that begins with a simple awareness. Exhaustion is a signal, a call to rethink our relationship with work, time, and self-care. When understood this way, the possibility of rest emerges not as a luxury, but as a vital act of resistance and self-preservation. The key insight from Byung-Chul Han is that our exhaustion is tied deeply to a cultural logic that makes rest seem like failure. But rest can become an act of reclaiming presence and freedom. By refusing to internalize society's endless demand for self-improvement, we create room for true rest, creativity, and existence beyond productivity. This insight invites a transformation, not just of habits, but of values. Rest is not laziness or loss. It is a reclamation of our humanity. This turning point offers hope for anyone caught in the exhausting demands of modern life. It suggests we have the power to redefine what it means to live well in an exhaustion society. Finally, this journey through exhaustion ends with a quiet strength. Recognizing the forces at work allows you to see that rest is not impossible. It is suppressed by cultural demands, but it can be nurtured. You have the power to resist the impulse towards ceaseless busyness. Rest is an act of courage, a reclaimed space of presence and peace. In embracing rest, you reclaim your time and yourself. This is not despair, but empowerment. It is an invitation to live more deeply, to find stillness within chaos, and to exist beyond exhaustion. In this, there is quiet triumph, a reminder that the human spirit can endure, resist, and flourish even in the exhaustion society.